Hello everyone, we are live with the three ways today again. Today's topic is the dating landscape. The dating landscape since the last decade has undergone significant changes. So we dive into it today. Since many people are suffering for love or having issues like lack of emotional awareness, which is a significant problem today. Hi Sandy, how are you?
Hello, I love how you started it. Because you said that the dating landscape is really different today than it was even like 10 years ago. Yeah. So it's so true. And I have so much to learn. And I think you have a lot to teach about this. So I'd love to, I can't wait to dive into this topic today. How are you doing?
Good, Sandy. Different background as always.
Where are you now?
I'm exploring spaces. As you know, Cindy, I love also to meet new people while I share a space. So it's very beautiful to meet people that host others. I like it.
I love it. So you're in somewhere in London area or?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. I'm in New York City. It's pouring rain. The parade just, took off this morning, right? It's right on my street. So I didn't post, if I remember, I'll post it later. But I have this very fortunate situation where this office I'm sitting in is on 81st at Central Park. So they blow up the big balloons on my block. So unless you're a resident, you can't.
Amazing.
So there are literally millions of people yesterday, millions of people all around every corner trying to get a glimpse of the balloons. And I have access, so I brought my family and some other little kids with us onto the street, and you're just there amongst the balloons. It's amazing.
Amazing. What's the meaning behind, Sandy, this balloon?
So they're the parade balloons, the really, really big parade balloons that float through. Have you seen
the parade?
Yeah, for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. So that's like, they took off. So now my street is empty. But yesterday it was millions of people. And I got punched in the arm by a Secret Service agent. He punched me and shoved me. And he said, "Move." And I said, "Well, I was." and it was crazy. A United States Secret Service agent. I'm literally walking, trying to get through the crowds to pick up my daughter from swim class last night. And he punches me and he shoves me, this big man. I'm tiny. You're smaller, but I'm tiny. Oh, how tall are you?
171, 170.
I don't know.
170. But still, I believe, I'm not scared to say it online, American policemen and even UK policemen, they can be very aggressive with people everywhere. I don't find this is true power. They lack education.
It was insane. Yeah. So the Secret Service guy, I'm walking on the street next to where the cars are parked because there's no room to move on the sidewalks because tourists think you're supposed to go to the sidewalk and stop.
Yeah.
So I'm walking down the street. As of a few weeks ago, it is no longer illegal to jaywalk in New York. So I was doing nothing wrong. So I'm walking on the street, no problems. Secret Service guy comes up, punches me in the arm and shoves me. And he says, "You could get hit by a car." I said, "It's very true, but instead I got hit by you."
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's also a form of manipulation, using your own power to actually misguide the person toward the situation.
Yes. So I would not go out on a date with that guy.
What? Absolutely. Also, policemen should be protective, not aggressive.
Unbelievable.
What did he say when he said that?
He froze because he realized that was a lawsuit right there. It was unbelievable. He just lunged at me, punched me, and shoved me. And I was like, you picked the right person, because part of me thinks this is very funny, but oh my God. It was really crazy. It was really crazy. And I don't even know if he's a real Secret Service guy, except he was with the other ones and he had the thing in his ear,
You do next time. You pull a Darren Brown. So Darren, you know what I'm talking about?
Do it. Say it. I love it. Yeah. Say it.
So Francesca, do you know you're in England most of the time, some of the time, wherever you are, but Darren Brown is probably the most famous entertainment magician, hypnotist, and he mixes entertainment and hypnosis and psychology in ways that are just amazing, right? And
Yeah.
so he did this thing where he talked about, he goes, I was younger, he goes, I was stressed like a nerd. He goes, I might as well have just had, kick me written on my back. I was such a nerdy kid. And some guy came out of a club and was drunk and aggressive and just pissed off. And he comes right up to Darren Brown, and Darren's like, oh my gosh. He's like, you're such a, whatever he called him. And Darren Brown, without a beat, looks at him and goes, the walls outside my house are not 10 feet tall. And when I went to England and when I went to Spain, the walls were 10 feet tall. And at my house, they're only 3 feet tall. And you realize that all of a sudden your feet are becoming heavier and heavier. But outside of those walls, why do you think they don't build them right? And you notice your body's starting to relax. And he started to do a verbal trance with him. And the guy just dropped on the sidewalk. It was amazing. So Sandy, next time you just go into this awesome pattern interrupt and you start giving him hypnotic suggestions to stick his feet to the floor and you leave him that way. It would,
Oh
it'd be
my
great.
God. Yeah, no, Darren Brown is amazing, and I've learned a lot from him. I've read his books. He's really good.
It's really good. I actually discovered it with Glenn 2 years ago because he was sharing about him, and then so I checked him out. It's very good.
Yeah, he's all over you. Darren with an E, D-E-R.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So dating.
So the dating scene, so different from what it was. So what is dating? Let's start from the meaning of dating. For me, dating is about connection. Isn't about dating someone for fun or dating because otherwise you're just enjoying the moment. So the word dating is about connecting. But nowadays, people often confuse it for actually exploration. So for many people, dating is just exploration, which is leading to lots of disappointment in terms of expectations and also bringing with them their traumatic experiences. Because as we know, most of the dating that is happening in today's world is online. And because it's missing the true connection and interaction, people are bringing with them all their past traumas, projecting it into their connections, which is of course not true connection when this happens. So it's very dangerous, the online dating, but can also be very profound because there is not only appearance, but there is true connection. So it depends on how you are approaching the dating scene in today's world. That can be either dangerous or very deep. So we have two case scenarios of the same topic, which of course is not only online dating, but still because people often meet online along these apps, it's called online dating. And because they are so disappointed by every meeting they encounter, they start feeling insecure, rejected. What is missing basically in today's world is true connection. So what is the best way to approach dating, the dating scene today? Emotional intelligence. How do we reach emotional intelligence? By doing inner work, by exploring the truth of your emotions.
Yeah.
The work we do every day.
Glenn, you're
great.
thinking something.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm not going to share this now, but before we end, for any guy watching, I'm going to share with you the move. Okay, I got a move. It is a signature move, and it breaks down the walls, and it opens up every single time. But I can't tell you what it is yet.
But can I just ask a few questions about it? Can I ask a few questions about it?
Not yet.
Is it something that? Well, I'm going to just ask anyway. Is it? Is it? Is it a move that women can do on women?
Yes.
And is it a move that women can do on men?
It's so.
Not the movement. This is the movement.
It's so sly. Yes.
So like men can use it on men and women can use it on men. Like it can go any different. Or it has to be like a guy on a girl.
Breaks the fourth wall in the most natural and connected way instantly. So we'll share that in a little bit.
I'm just wondering, should I care? Can I use it?
I'll use it.
First of all, Is it a physical movement or is it an emotion, an energy in motion we're talking about?
We want to know.
It's everything.
All right, we have
But
to wait.
first,
We have to wait to the end.
Friday, let me just share this because it's finally here and it's finally out. My manifestation blueprint. Sandy has a copy. It's amazing. I'm so happy about it. So anybody that needs a gift for the holidays, I'm going to put it right in the comment and get it.
Glenn, I love your book. I have it next to my bed with a pen shoved into it. Falling asleep with you is so, it's making my sleep better. It's making my days better. I'm enjoying your
Show
book.
us
You
the
do a
book,
little every night.
you know, for the people that don't know about it yet, manifestation, exactly.
Yes, manifestation. It's a book and a journal. So there's a lot of stuff I'm sharing with you that I've kind of learned all my life. And then we get down to some good old, not a good new fashioned, a way of journaling your thoughts with affirmations, with also reflection, and with a little bit of the magic in this universe. You know, I got some mirror numbers in here. Some people call them angel numbers, mirror numbers. So it's a combination of kind of that magical thing that we can't quite understand, and taking consistent action. And where those meet is where this book is. And so this is something I'm so proud of. So everybody needs it if you want to create more in your life. Even just, not even about money. It's for money, relationships, health, your career, whatever it is you want to bring into your life, this will help you do it. So there you go. Links there for anyone. I'm so excited to share it, and it's out.
Beautiful.
Yes, so I bought the book.
It's all about the magic of life, in my opinion, is all about embodiment and manifestation. This is the magic of life. Yeah.
All right, I'll share them.
You should order the book. And I'm ordering the book for multiple friends for the holidays. Even if you know all the stuff, even if you know everything we're talking about, even if you know more than we do, even if you are Darren Brown, this book, when you do the exercises, even if you know them, it changes your life. It's like somebody saying, well, I know how to do a push-up. Well, that's very different than doing it and doing it again. And this is your mind design for bedtime. I love it.
So well said. All right, I'll share my move, then you guys can get into this dating thing.
Oh, so we don't have to wait till the end.
Now, Sarah, I can't wait either. It's too good. You girls are going to think it's cheesy, but it works every time. It worked on Amber. It works every time. So when you meet somebody, right, usually you would FaceTime first if you meet online dating. But whether you FaceTime first, talked, or just met up, when you sit down, normally it's going to be at a restaurant or a bar. If it's at a table, right, it's like a job interview. You're sitting here, your partner's sitting here, and it's like, all right, this is like an interview. So what I do, the first move is this. The second we sit down, I put my hands out and I say, I'm so glad that we got together right now. And what are you going to do the second I do this?
I put the hands on the top.
You have to. It's a social condition that you can't. And now at this point, here's when the magic is. You don't hold too long because then you're creepy. You know, you hold just enough.
Creepy for you, Glenn, you know. I would stay there all night.
So we just enough to make a connection, and then you let go. Now that fourth wall is broken, and you guys can communicate much better. There's a warmth and a connection that happens instantly. So that's the move, baby. I'm so glad we got together right over the table. Or if you're sitting next to each other on the couch, you put them out like that. You can't not reciprocate. And now you've broken the wall. So that's my move.
That's beautiful. Same when you take each other's hands along a table, or verissimo, Glenn, when you have a tete-a-tete connection, the touch of the hands is very powerful, because that's the most powerful way to feel the energy of someone. That's why when you cook, you add the energy in what you cook. When you touch someone, if your energy is very strong, someone is going to feel it. So the hands are the best trick. I completely agree with you.
So obviously you do a quick, because most people will say, you'll give a hug, hello, but then you sit down with strangers again. This connects you right away. I was like, this is magic. It's so good. So there you go. That's the move. You're welcome, world.
Grazie. Beautiful example on how to break the wall.
And if
Yeah.
the girl did it to you, you feel, Glenn, as a man, you would reciprocate? Same?
Yes, but a girl would never do it because it's definitely a masculine move. So it's a masculine energy move. So I don't see a girl ever doing that first.
Francesca, would you do it first with a guy?
Yes, I don't mind it. I always love taking action to create, to break anything that is about stillness. So I like to create movement within interactions. So I love touching. Usually, I don't touch anymore as I used to when I was young because I'm very sensitive now. But I love the touch. So for me, anything that can break this rigidity is very important.
So when you're past the first date and you've gotten to know each other and you have a more intimate relationship with a guy, would you, Francesca, be someone to sexually make the first move or not?
It depends. It depends. First of all, I don't do dating. Either I'm in love or I'm not. Like I never accepted any dating invitation because I immediately know if someone is for me or not. So I don't like giving illusions. So I might appear very strong, but because I'm very emotionally aware, so I don't give any possibility if I already know I'm not deeply involved. So for me, it's about either it's everything or nothing. Of course, I had my ex-two boyfriends, which we are very close even today as friends, because there is no sexual attraction, but there is a truly friendship. I believe it can exist, but still, with them, of course, I thought it was something special. But the more you grow, the more you realize what is love for you and what is the meaning of love. So for me, the dating scene is a bit different. I never been in apps. I never been exploring someone just for the sake of dating. I've never done it.
Interesting. So you said you immediately know. Have you ever immediately said no to someone but gotten to know them and then became attracted to them ever?
No, never. I immediately say no. In fact, many guys think I'm very strong, but I don't care.
Right. Yeah. Like, don't waste your time. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't also want to waste their time because I don't need, because I'm full of light. The attention that life is giving me since I am a child is bringing me not to seek attention. When you are light, you receive and give attention, so you don't seek it. So for me, there is no point to receive this attention. Actually bothers me because I don't need it. It is not what I'm looking for within a commitment or within a connection with someone. Only if there is love, I love his attention, not because I seek it.
Here's the thing, and Sandy, you can chime in on this too. I mean, actually, Francesca, I believe you, but we have to realize Francesca is in the world of Francesca. She's not in the world of everybody else, which is amazing.
Yeah.
We can't use her
No,
as
for
the
sure.
quote-unquote normal,
I'm a bit
right?
different.
Yeah, she's the princess in the castle and everybody's trying to get there.
Well,
All right, so
I don't
here's
like all these people pretending, expecting to be called princesses, also because a real princess is for what you are within. And I find very shocking how many girls, even in my community, are calling themselves so and gossiping about everyone at the same time and bullying about people. So I find it very, very unsexy to define a woman or a man, a king and a princess, if real values are lacking and there is only gossip and bullying people around. So, a princess, everyone is a princess or a king if is coming from within. That's really important.
Yeah.
so
And you are
It's
one.
not only about, thank you, Santina, you too, but it's not only about presenting yourself as a princess, it's about being inside someone that is caring and compassionate, understanding towards also people that have nothing, towards people that have less, that are less. And I see so much bad behavior towards this classification of people, which I find absurd.
Yeah. So when you talk about more or less, when that doesn't anymore translate to money, but translates to who you are, knowing who you are, then nobody can put you in a place or take you out of your place. You just are
Absolutely.
what you are.
Yeah. And see,
yeah.
The reason why people should be careful with dating, it's because the more you explore, the more you are experimenting, and experimenting includes failures. So exploration is within tools of connection. So it's not that the more you date, the more you know. No, it's the more depth you add to what you are dating. So it's not about quantity, it's about quality. So for me, dating has no point. For me, there is no point because I can connect with you even though we're not dating. I don't need a dating phase to connect with you, you know? So that's for me, that's why I don't date.
So if somebody's going to be watching or listening to a conversation like this, and you have 3 mind design professionals from around the world talking about it, what might they be hoping we'll answer? What do you think somebody watching or listening really wants to know? Or I wonder even if people want to just ask a question in the comment section, because my without knowing, my thinking is people want to know, how can we sort of use what we know about the subconscious mind, like the Darren Brown moment where the guy came after him, and yet then all of a sudden the guy's feet get heavier and then the guy falls to the ground just through what he says and how he presents himself. I'm thinking that people watching or listening to this might want to know, how can I use hypnotic techniques in dating? Or am I wrong about that? What do you think people might want to know? Because nobody's asking a question.
Online dating?
Dating specifically. What do you think?
You know, I found my biggest love online. So for me, it's very different, where we basically decided not to put it on the appearance because our sexual energy is based on our depth and inner exploration and transformation. So for me, it's very unique. But what people should know about online dating that they don't know yet is that only if they are emotionally intelligent, they can go through online dating. Otherwise, it will always be a projection and a personal perception only of what they are, not for what truly is. Because when you do online dating, it's missing an important part, the physical connection, which is not everything. Same time, people base the connection only on physical appearance. So if you approach the online dating because of the physical interaction and showing your body and showing your boobs and your ass and your eyes, super in love. So all these kind of things are completely detaching people from the truth that love requires, which is connection, that's connection. So there is this desire that, of course, you can't have what you are desiring, so it keeps you in the loop and is truly draining your being, because you are desiring something you can't have with no depth, only this constant desire, which is not fulfilling, but because your brain can't have it, is keeping you in the loop. So you confuse healthy attachment for unhealthy attachment, and you basically get attached only because of the idea of how things are, and it's very dangerous. So if you are emotionally intelligent, date online, otherwise avoid it.
So I had a client come in, happens to be beautiful, intelligent, amazing person, and has had trouble with guys forever. And she finally thinks, now I've met the right guy, and then he's just no good. But it takes her so long to start to figure this out. And so I said, just, talk me through it. When you go out and you meet these guys, because she has no trouble getting dates, right? I said, when you go out on a first date, you meet these guys, how are you preparing? What are you doing? What are you wearing? And she's basically transforming herself into a different person. She's practiced how to talk. She's practiced what to say. She wears and she's sitting in my office, so natural, so kind, so lovely. And she's explaining that she turns into this person who she isn't really. And then she wonders why she's finding the wrong guys. Glenn, like those stories of a sheep in wolf's clothing and wondering why she's attracting the wrong one, right? She's putting on a suit and attracting the exact opposite of what it is she really wants, and wonders why down the line it never works. So, coming from a lesbian who is just always myself, and, maybe I'm not the person to give advice to a straight girl, but I think I'm the best person to give advice to a straight girl. Because too many
wrong, Brava, I believe, no, you can. Even lesbian, gay people, they know a lot about love because they are more sensitive than others often, because you are so much open-minded that barely people can be sometimes. I don't believe it's about genders or about if you're gay or not. I believe it's if you're sensitive or not. If people are attracting the wrong people, it's because they lack truth of connection with themselves. Because often we attract with themselves, not with the other
Yes.
person.
Yes.
And it's not wrong, but there is a lesson to be gained from this. So sometimes the wrong can also be positive if there is depth. No one is perfect, but if it's wrong and you're still going against a wall or wanting what doesn't want you, it's because you lack a connection with yourself. So there are many cases, we can generalize.
Absolutely. And so with that client, over just a few weeks, we really got to who she is authentically. And of course, it is the storybook ending. She has been with a guy now for a couple of years, happy as can be, because she finally was herself when she met the guy and went out with him. And, you know, we would have conversations about, like, should she reveal this? Should she say that? And it was just almost opposite of everything she'd ever been doing. To this day, she's with the guy. It's been a couple of years and they're so happy. So the authenticity, really, you're going to find a right match for your own happiness. You know, I have a guy friend who we went out to dinner one night, and it was sushi, and he ordered the brown rice. I'm like, oh, you're the brown rice kind of guy with sushi. He's like, yeah. I said, brown rice is healthier, but like sushi is way better with white rice. I mean, like, let's all be honest. It's brown rice is fine, but like with sushi, white rice is so much better. And he's like, no, I agree. He said, but in order to get the kind of women I like, I got to have these abs. And I'm like, really? So you're going to not enjoy yourself to get a kind of girl who needs you to be a certain way? And of course, he's always been miserable with every woman he's ever been with. I think he still pays his first wife $100,000 a month in alimony. These are the women. These are the women who just knock the guy.
What you said, though, in there, you find someone that matches your own happiness. That's a very important thing. Anytime, even with your friends or with a relationship, when you want to bring a relationship into your life, you're going to bring someone that matches your happiness. Absolutely. So the thing is, you have to make your world. You have to make your world special. You have to make your world a place that somebody would want to share it with you in. You know, and one of the things I have worked with a lot of people in this area is I tell them dating has turned into a problem-solving night. Instead of making dating a problem to solve, let it be an experience to have. Just have experiences, you know, go out. What's it like to be with this person? What's it like to have dinner with this person? What's it like to go to a movie with this person? Just have an experience instead of trying to problem solve, and then see what happens. It takes the pressure off.
Yep.
It's like if in your mind, I hope I like them, they better meet my checklist. Is this the love of my life? Are they do this? Do they do this? It's insane making what people do. Mm-hmm. There's no light that can breathe into a relationship if you approach it that way. So it's like, just have an experience.
I had a young woman come in here recently. She's, I mean, just beautiful and oh my God, and scared to death to date. And so she described that she likes having, I don't know you very well sex. That's what she called it. I don't know you very well sex. So it may or may not be on a first date, but she's never gotten past a fifth date with anyone. And I'm like, so you're not having this sex a lot? She's like, no, I have it all the time. And I'm like, your choice. Okay. So that is her preference. I said, are you like, are you enjoying the, I don't know you very much sex with all of these men? She's like, no, not at all. But I don't know what else to do. And I was like, wow, okay. So she said, past a fifth date. I said, can you imagine a 100th date? And she said, oh my God, no. And I said, see, because you keep holding on to, I have to keep pretending. And how long can you hold your breath? And maybe you can hold it for 5, but you certainly can't hold it for 100. But what if every single date felt as good as a first date that goes really well? And it's all just that. You just show up and see what happens. So we did some work. She had some first dates and she said, I've never felt better. I said, imagine every date 100, 1,000 feels as good as that. And she started to get it because you just, like you said, Glenn, you show up and feel for the happiness. You're not performing for anyone. And I will add to it this. I said, look, in my sessions, I work with all kinds of sexual issues and I work with it all. Nothing's off the table. But except for one thing, I never, ever talk about sexual technique with people. And I never cross that line. So we can talk about who you are within it, but I don't cross that line. It's people who are looking for that. I don't want them in my office. I want people who genuinely want to make change. So I said to her, I said, look, we are never going down the road of me teaching you technique or anything else. I said, however, I'm going to teach you a tantric breathing technique. We're going to use it as an induction to go into hypnosis. It is used in the world of tantric sex, but it's breathing. And I've also used it with thousands of clients as a breathing technique. And I don't tell them that it comes from the book of Tantra. Who cares? It's breathing. So we did the exercise and then went into hypnosis. And when we came out of it, I said, your body is like a firecracker right now. And she's like, yeah. And I said, have you ever felt that feeling in sex? And she said, never. And I said, so I'm not telling you what to do or not do, but I'm telling you, you should never approach sex without that feeling first. Without that feeling first. And she got it. She got it.
Yes, we never expose as when we do healing the answers or the techniques. We make them see what's the pattern. I believe in sexuality is the same. You find your own techniques, your own answers, but the person brings you to this state of openness where you find your own.
Yeah, exactly. And not the other way around. Don't reach to flip switches and open buttons.
Exactly.
Push buttons. If it's not there, then you should not be doing it yet. And then get there. Yeah.
Slow down. I know this sounds old-fashioned, but who you are with matters. Who you share your body with matters. And I think people should slow down. Don't share your body too soon until you know someone. It really does. This is an important thing. And
so important.
It is. And who you share it with, it really, really matters. And if you think the only way you're going to keep somebody in your life is to give that up too soon before you're ready, that is really unhealthy.
Yeah, giving your body such in dating. If you date people that are, just for fun, the universe is going to give you the reward of a big lesson. So you start being rejected, you start becoming insecure, because it's not the dating the problem, it's how you are approaching it, it's the method. The method means everything, and the universe always gives you the reward, either positive or negative.
Yes, yeah.
Holding someone's hand, hugging, that's not what we're talking about. Giving your inner body away to someone before you're ready or before you know them. It's just not, in my opinion, it's not healthy.
And not from a church perspective and not from a prude perspective, but from a strategy of living your best life perspective. Because when people give too much, try too hard, do too much, reach too far sexually, intimately, that is a scarcity mentality. I got to hold on to this. I got to show you how great I am. It's a scarcity mentality. So what's the universe going to give you more of? Scarcity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Same when you're vulnerable with someone that doesn't have the heart open. It can be for a woman or a man. They open their hearts because they need it, not because they're connecting to it. So they just open their heart. And in the other direction, there is someone that has the heart completely closed up, or there is a completely lack of connection. And so if you do this, it is not rewarding you in any way. You are basically becoming completely numb because you are opening where the wall is completely shut down. So there must be true exchange for you to feel your emotions for real. Otherwise, you become, again, insecure. You will suffer rejection, giving it to others. So the openness is fundamental on the two sides.
Yeah. Some of the best homework, and this is so simple and really fun to do, homework that I'll give couples. Often it's the woman's not enjoying sex or doesn't want it at all. And what I say it's usually her, but it can go either way, is we're going to play a game just for 1 week. It's just a game, so you can play it or not. The game is tell your husband or wife or whatever, absolutely no sex for 1 week. No sex. But what we are going to do every single night before bed is we get to pick one body part, not a sexual. I mean, they can all be sexual, but you know what I mean. One body part, and you get to pick a song. And for that song, if it's your foot, you just get a foot massage for that song. Of course, I would pick Hey Jude because that's like a 7-minute song. But But so you just massage the foot, right? And then you switch. And for a week, no matter how turned on you get, whatever, you're not allowed to have sex, but you can do more songs, but you have to switch off each song. And what it does is it gets people to a place that for whatever reason they've been afraid to be, which is if you can feel that feeling in one pinky toe surge through your whole body, you don't need more than that. So you start to connect really truly without the fear of performing. And a lot of guys have fear of performing in different ways than women, maybe sometimes more so than women. So it takes that off the table. And you find that when you do get back to having sex, all that other stuff, you don't want to give it up anymore because it's so good. So you do the other stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's very nice.
So many
That's
cases.
very...
So difficult. We'll talk for 1 hour about this topic because I have been doing amazing consultations. There are so many examples on why and how love is not working and why and how love is exploding of love and passion. I believe the key word is emotional intelligence. It means everything. So I believe parents must be aware of how important it is to grow their children being emotionally involved, not only being dictatorial, but being in depth, truly connecting to them. Because it starts from when you are a child. Emotional intelligence, it's a process.
Right. And so if I were watching or listening to this, thinking, well, what can I take from that? Because you're right. How do I translate that to my dating life if I'm listening to this? And I would say when you show up or before you show up on that date, just ask yourself, who am I? What is that emotion? Give it a name, give it a word. And then when you're at that table with that person, just be that. And if they say no to you, good. Good. If they say no to you, good, because it's not a match. There's no such thing as rejection. There's only repelling. Good.
Yes, also rejection, in my opinion, of course, is very hurtful when you love someone. We all had a rejection, but it's truly is God protection because either someone you're involved with is going through lots of trauma, which can come from the past, and you shouldn't be involved and you shouldn't accuse the pain. But otherwise, it's truly lack of connection and it's not meant to be. I don't know why people have lots of ego, and so because of the rejection, they insist on the same pattern, not only with one person, with many different people at the same time, because the more you're rejected, the more your ego is touched. And to prove yourself right, you would do anything, and that's how you destroy yourself, truly.
Francesca, you talked about being rejected by someone you love. I want people to highlight what I'm about to say, that it is not possible to be rejected by someone you love, because if you really love them, love truly is unconditional. So whether they're with you or not with you, you can always still love them. So it's not real love. If you feel rejected by someone you love, it's not real love. Get over yourself. You're not really loving them.
Completely agree with you, Sandy. We call it rejection because that's what it is, but it's not true rejection because you understand and you love for what it is. You know, can also happen in friendships, can also happen in parent-child connection. It can happen everywhere. Rejection can happen everywhere. But as
Glenn wants to blow this up. Glenn wants to blow this up.
Different for it's almost like saying, Sandy, I'm going to sit you down and give you a tomato. But that tomato, it's a steak. No, it's not. It's a tomato. All right? Love has conditions. And you can be rejected by someone you love. Yes, it is.
Someone can reject you.
Here's the deal. From a philosophical standpoint, from a philosophical standpoint, you are correct. But from a practical, real, day-to-day standpoint, I don't think that philosophy really helps.
Do you know what philosophy means when you break it down?
No.
The Sophie part means love, and the Philo part means
Sophie.
Francesca, what?
It's a love understanding of love. Language of love, sorry.
So philo is the understanding? Okay, I knew Sophie was love. So literally when you say philosophical, that means the understanding of love. It means the understanding of love.
Yeah.
In reality, yes, my feelings for you should not be based on your feelings for me. So if you love someone, that's love. And that, it's like, okay, well, if you don't feel that way about me, that doesn't change how I feel for you. We just might not be doing the same things together anymore. But that's
That's
a
more
great,
admiration than love. I believe love is when there is true exchange
yeah.
and when there is a true exchange of connection. Otherwise, of course, it's admiration. You love the sun, but the sun doesn't love you back. So it is admiration, admiration of something that is godish, like that has this God energy. So the Buddha, we admire him. So we have many characters that we admire, but I believe love is more. Love is when there is true exchange. And of course, if you're an empath, which doesn't mean merging with everyone, you can see beyond the obvious and you can truly feel the depth within friendship, love. So it's all about your how much you are evolved spiritually, I believe. But love has many stages. But yeah.
Too many people define love as, if you loved me, then you would behave this way. If you loved me, you would do this.
Yeah.
If you loved me, you wouldn't do that. You would say, they base the definition of love on behavior. So bringing it back to what Francesca said, which is absolutely the answer, this is always about emotional intelligence. Love is not about behavior.
But it's an
No, because
action.
someone can behave bad, but you have a deep connection, and because you're emotionally intelligent, you know where it's coming from. Even as a parent, because I know many girlfriends are becoming parents now, you know, your child is behaving very bad. You don't stop loving your child just because it's behaving bad and become a victim. Oh, I'm so unlucky. Just understand the emotions of your child. So love is unconditional because of this. There is no condition, but that doesn't mean you are fooling yourself. So emotional intelligence, again, is bringing you back to the state where you are not naive, you are not stupid, you're not fooling yourself, but you love unconditionally because you see the truth. So unconditional love, in my opinion, is loving with no conditions, but the truth,
Yeah,
not the...
you're right. Glenn, I have a question for you about this. Yeah,
Yeah.
if somebody said to you, I love you, but you don't feel the same way back, so you reject them, and they said, but don't reject me because I love you, would any part of you be like, oh, now I love you? Like, you're not in love with them. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a real love connection if you're rejecting. So if someone's rejecting you, it's
Yeah.
not a love connection. So whatever feelings you have for them, it's more like awe of the sun. It's
But,
just be in
but
awe of them, love them from a distance.
see, those are conditions, which that's
No,
exactly
that's
100%.
ego. That's pure ego.
But
Someone that is expecting to be loved by everyone and and wants to be loved by being rejected, it's ego. It's not even love. It's lack of love for the self.
but the
Lack of...
condition is the condition is you feel the same way back, so therefore we'll be together. If the condition is you don't feel the same way back, we won't be together. There's always a condition around it. You know, there's kids that, yes, you're supposed to, nowhere nowhere does it say you're supposed to love your parents. Many kids that have had abusive parents don't have their parents in their lives, right? And so that condition of love, that condition that would allow love to be there, isn't there. You know,
The
for some,
love can still be there, but the conditions aren't lined up to physically be in that space, but the love can still be there or not.
yeah,
Emotions
but the,
don't have to rely on conditions. And if they do, they're not real
That's
emotions.
why the
there's a
truth.
condition.
Love the truth. Yeah.
The condition, maybe not conditions, but there is a condition in order for that to be able to express itself. And usually that condition is alignment, if you're aligned.
Yeah, yeah. So we're close. I get it. I get it. I get
Well,
it. I want to sort of move in a different direction on dating because my son, who is 13, his friends are all like starting to date now and da da da. And he,
oh,
so
soon.
I was he was FaceTiming with his friend, and they were talking about, well, you know, what are you gonna do? And the friend's like, I don't know, man. It's a first date with the girl. He's like, I don't know, man. You know, we're just gonna go out. And I was like, whoa, give me the phone. Listen, bro, don't you dare show up to pick that girl up and be like, I don't know, what do you want to do? Don't you dare. I'm going to tell your mother if you do that. I said, you must show up. You're the man. And this is where it might even sound sexist for me. I'm like, you are the man. You show up, you have a plan, and you be open to anything she wants. And she can do it too. But especially, don't you dare show up as the man, picking a girl up on a first date and go, I don't know, what do you want to do? Now, is that wrong? Am I wrong? Because he got really mad at me. My son got really mad at
No,
me.
you're right.
Thank you.
Masculine energy has a plan. It can be flexible, but masculine energy has a plan. It's
Yeah.
doing, it's action, it's a plan.
Yeah,
You
and
should
the
always
woman can show up with a plan too. That's fine, but
yeah,
the man better show up with a plan. Is
yeah.
that sexist? Maybe, but I'm Gen
I
X.
believe,
What,
see, it's the completion of plan, action, embracement of everything, expansion. I believe everything is built together. And the feminine and the masculine uniting together. There is nothing sexier than this. I give the example of the tango when I do my couple therapy, because it's truly, I also suggest tango classes to couples that lack connection between masculine and feminine.
Really,
It's
yeah.
really good.
incredible.
Really good. So as I'm going to put you, Francesca, in the feminine category, but you really have a lot of both. But
Yeah.
what if a guy showed up to a date without a plan? He's like, all right, Francesca, I know you don't date, but like he's going to take you out, whatever. He shows up and he has no plan. Are you just like, okay, cool? Or are you like, dude, you should have a plan?
No, I would be super happy to make the plan, and of course then actions taken along the plan from the man. But for me, if there is a plan to be discussed, it has to be face to face. For me, I don't illusion about a plan because everything can change. I'm truly aware on how life can change suddenly. So I would rather prepare it by living it than having the perfect plan that is going to be destroyed. Even when I was doing events, I was doing each event from scratch with a different team every time. So for me, the plan is the awareness you have of what you are doing. That's the best plan. But then the details are discussed by living it. So, I know I'm going to do an event. First, I find the location, so I go into the location. So I can have a vision, but I cannot have the perfect plan because I have to be aware that everything can change and I have to be ready to be within changes happening. So for me, it's about manifestation is about embodying what you envision, but resisting restrictions. So no restrictions, allowing openness to discover what it is.
I think the point you make is a really good one because you're talking about non-attachment to outcome, and I love that. But I want to bring it back to this sort of other point that would come before that. So let me ask it differently. If a guy said, hey, I'm going to take you out Saturday night, and he comes to pick you up and he says, all right, I planned this romantic restaurant and then we have a car waiting for us and it's going to take us to the water and we're going to So he comes and he just tells you, I've got this plan, and also lets you know, but if you want, we'll scrap the whole thing if there's something else you want to do. My question is this: if a guy comes to you with a full plan, do you like that or are you offended by that?
For me, there are no rules in love, like zero rules, only presence. So if you want to suggest a plan, good, I can suggest it too. You want to make the first step, otherwise I can make it. For me, there are no restrictions, no rules to be followed. It's about what you feel. It's about the energy given to what you're living.
Yeah, I think what we should do is, I've heard from several female friends, they absolutely hate it, at least here in the States, because when they're like, the guy's like, I don't know, what do you want to do? What do you want? It's the worst. Like, give your date a couple options. Hey, there's a new restaurant. I haven't been there before. Nearby you, and it looks cool. What do you think? And if you like, I have two other places in mind. Have something together, so you're not just, so many girls I've talked to hate
But
it
there are so many
when
things to do. I don't know why people get so fatty. Oh, what should we do? What should we do? Just
Because
leave it and
guys
do
today
it.
are brought up to be wussies. That's why.
why I 100%. So let's do this. Let's have it today, and then next one, let's really, because this was a lot of concepts, right? Let's break it down to real action steps that will help your dating life. Let's do that next time. All right. So I
Yeah,
think this is good on philosophies. Let's cut it, and then we'll get into real tips. All right.
Do you have
exactly.
dating
That
tips
was
or do
the
you got to
overall
come up with
meaning.
them?
Next time we go through the perfect steps
Or the
to, yeah.
or the magic tips next time. So all right.
Like communication and stuff, because we do have them. We're all hypnotists. Yeah.
Yes. So all right,
Yeah.
everybody that's celebrating Thanksgiving, have a great day with friends and family, and we will see you all on the flip side.
Hello,
Love you
everyone.
guys so much. And I'm thankful.
Don't date too much. Connect more than dating. Bye bye.
I like it.